Listen, there's a sound in the heavens tonight. It's not the usual whisper of angel wings, it's heavier, it's trembling, it's filled with the weight of something too important to stay silent about. Archangel Michael, the mighty warrior of God, the one who has stood guard over you when you didn't even know there was danger near, the one who has fought battles in the spirit realm while you slept, is crying. His voice is breaking in the throne room of heaven, not because he is weak, but because his heart is moved beyond words for you. He has been trying to reach you, again and again, but each time you scroll past, each time you say, "I'll come back later," the moment passes. And now, heaven has pressed pause on other matters, just so this can reach you. He is not crying because of loss, but because of truth, truth that you need to hear before another day passes. Someone, yes, a real someone in this world, has finally spoken what was locked in their heart about you. And Michael heard it. It wasn't whispered to friends, it wasn't written in a letter, it was spoken in a moment when their guard was down. A confession, raw and unfiltered, that heaven could not ignore. Words about you that carry the power to change how you see everything. For so long, you've wondered what people really think of you. You've asked silently, did they ever care? Did I ever matter? Was I seen, or was I just a shadow in their story? And heaven says tonight, you were seen, more than you could imagine. The one you thought had forgotten you, the one you believed had moved on, has carried you in the corners of their heart this whole time. They tried to bury it under pride, under distractions, under the noise of life, but truth cannot be silenced forever. And when it spilled out, Michael was there. He heard every word. And his tears are not of sorrow, they are the overflow of divine relief, because now you will finally know. Heaven has decided that this is the time for hidden things to be revealed. The season of you doubting your worth is closing. The door where you stood knocking and heard no answer, it wasn't locked forever, it was waiting for this very hour to swing open. And this confession, this truth, will not just touch your mind, it will heal something in your spirit. Michael has been carrying this moment like a sealed letter, guarding it so nothing would distort it before it reached you. And now, as you hear these words, that seal is breaking. Prepare your heart, because what you're about to receive is more than just information, it's restoration. It's proof that you were never as invisible as you feared, and that love, in its purest form, still has your name on it. I wish you could have seen it the way Michael saw it. The moment was not staged, not planned, not wrapped in careful words. It was raw. They didn't know heaven was listening, they didn't know the walls of their heart were about to break open. They were sitting in a quiet place, talking to someone they trusted, and suddenly, your name fell from their lips, not in anger, not in bitterness, but in a way that carried weight, longing, and something they could no longer hide. The sound of it was different. It wasn't casual. It wasn't an afterthought. It was as if your name was a key that unlocked a door they didn't even realize they had kept sealed for so long. And when that door opened, the truth came rushing out like a river that had been dammed for years. They said, I tried to forget, but I can't. They were different. They touched something in me no one else has. I miss them. And as those words echoed into the unseen realm, Michael's wings trembled, because he knew, this was the moment you needed to know about. You see, Child, the enemy tried to convince you that you were forgettable. That your presence was easily replaced. That your absence didn't matter. But heaven has been storing up evidence against that lie. And this confession is proof. They remembered the way you laughed when no one else was watching. They remembered the way you noticed details about them that they thought no one saw. They remembered how your words felt safe, how your presence felt like home. And no matter where they went, no matter who stood beside them, there was a part of them that could not escape the thought of you. Even in their best days, a quiet ache remained, and that ache was shaped like you. Michael didn't just hear the words, he felt the sincerity in them. He saw the memories flash across their mind as they spoke. He saw the way their voice softened when they recalled your kindness, the way their eyes clouded when they spoke of losing you. And in that moment, heaven made a decision. This truth would not remain hidden any longer. It would travel from that conversation, through the hands of angels, past the noise of the world, and land directly in front of you, so you could know you were never a chapter they closed. You were the page they kept turning back to, even when they pretended they'd moved on. And now, Michael stands before you in the spirit, holding this confession like a treasure wrapped in light. You need to know this, he says, because for too long, you've lived under the shadow of lies. For too long, you've questioned if you mattered. For too long, you've carried the weight of silence, thinking it meant you were forgotten. But silence is not absence. Silence is not the end. Sometimes silence is the space where truth grows, until it's ready to be spoken. And now, it has been spoken. Child, let this heal something inside you. Let it break the chains of self-doubt. Let it restore the part of your heart that has been surviving instead of living. This is not just about a person's feelings, this is about heaven showing you that love still remembers your name, that you have left a mark no one can erase, that you are not just a fleeting memory in someone's past, but a constant presence in their spirit. And if Michael is crying, it's not because he pities you, it's because he is overwhelmed by the beauty of this divine timing. You were meant to know now, not before, because now your heart is ready to receive it without fear, without bitterness, without running away. Michael does not just tell you the story, he takes you there. One moment you are here, and the next, you feel the air change around you. There's a softness, a stillness, like heaven itself is holding its breath. You are standing in a room that is not in this world, yet every detail feels familiar. The light is warm but not from any sun you know, it comes from a presence, a love so deep it feels alive. And there they are, the one whose name you have carried in your heart like a fragile flame, even when you told yourself you'd let it burn out. They are sitting with their head bowed, hands clasped loosely, speaking to someone unseen, and then you hear it. Your name. Spoken gently at first, as if tasting it after a long time. Then again, with more weight, more emotion. Their voice trembles as memories begin to surface. I thought I could move on, they say, but there are nights I still dream of them. There are moments when I hear something funny and I wish I could tell them. There are days I feel like I see them in a crowd, and my heart stops, but it's never them. It's never them. You watch their shoulders shake as they exhale the truth they've been holding back for so long. I didn't just lose them. I lost a part of myself when they left. Michael leans close to you in that moment and whispers, "Do you hear the truth now? It's not just that they remember you, they feel the absence of you in their very soul." And as he speaks, you begin to see what they are seeing, flashes of moments between you and them, small and tender. The way you once reached for their hand without thinking. The time you laughed so hard you both forgot the world for a moment. The look you gave them that told them you understood without words. These were not just memories. These were anchors in their spirit. And then, something unexpected happens. You feel their emotions, not as an observer, but as if they flow directly into your own chest. You feel the ache of missing you. You feel the warmth of every time you made them feel safe. You feel the regret they carry, the things they wish they had said when there was still time. And suddenly, you understand why Michael was crying. This is not just a human confession, this is the soul speaking what the lips were too afraid to say before. "Child," Michael says, his voice deep yet gentle, "heaven did not allow you to see this so you could cling to the past in pain. Heaven brought you here so you could see your worth reflected in the truth of another's heart. You were not easy to forget, you were impossible to forget. And though people can live years apart, the spirit remembers what the world tries to bury." As you watch, they lift their head and their eyes glisten, not from show, but from a place of raw honesty. "If I could tell them one thing," they whisper, "I'd tell them I'm sorry. I'd tell them I still care. I'd tell them I still love them." And the word love lingers in the air like incense, rising up to heaven where it cannot be erased. Michael places his hand over your heart and says, "Let this not make you long for what is gone, but let it remind you, you are still loved in ways you don't see, still valued beyond the noise of this world. Let this confession be a healing to you, not a chain. Let it set you free from the lies that told you your presence didn't matter." And in that holy silence, you realize something: the truth isn't always about getting someone back. Sometimes it's about getting yourself back. And at that moment, Michael smiles through his tears because he knows you've just stepped into that freedom. Michael looks at you with eyes that seem to hold entire oceans of truth, and says softly, "Come. There is something you must see with your own eyes." Without another word, he takes your hand, not in a rush, but with the kind of care you give to something fragile yet priceless. The world around you shifts. It's not walking, it's not flying, it's like being carried through light itself. In an instant, you are standing in a place that feels older than time, yet untouched by it. The air here is not just breathable, it is alive, filled with the hum of prayers, tears, laughter, and memories from souls all across the ages. You stand before a massive door, carved not from wood or stone, but from something you can't name. It looks like light that has taken form. Every inch of it glows with words you can't fully read, but you know instinctively they are names. Michael lays his palm against the door, and it opens without a sound. Inside, you see shelves stretching so high you can't see the top. They are not holding books or scrolls like in earthly libraries. They hold records of lives, each glowing faintly, each with its own fragrance, its own song. Some are dim, some bright, some almost too radiant to look at directly. Michael guides you through until he stops in front of one particular shelf. You feel your breath catch before he even says it. Here, he whispers. This is where your name lives. Your hands tremble as you reach out. It's not a book, it's more like a living story, a pulse of light that responds to your touch. As soon as your fingers graze it, it opens on its own. And suddenly you see scenes from your life, not as you remember them, but as heaven saw them. Every moment you thought went unnoticed is here. The time you comforted a friend while hiding your own pain. The quiet prayers you whispered at night thinking no one heard. The moments you chose kindness when it would have been easier to be cold. They are all here, recorded with a tenderness that undoes you. Then, you see another scene, one you don't recognize at first. It's the very person Michael brought you to hear earlier. They are in their room, alone, holding something of yours. They speak your name, and the light from that moment travels upward into the heavens, landing right here in your record. And now you understand, every time someone spoke your name in love, in longing, in truth. Heaven kept it. Nothing was lost. Michael turns to you. Do you see now why I wept? Do you understand why I couldn't stay silent? You have been walking in this world thinking you were unseen, unremembered, unloved. But here, he gestures to the glowing record, you are known. Every truth about you is preserved here, not the lies, not the rumors, not the misunderstandings. Only the truth that heaven sees. Your eyes blur with tears as page after page reveals not just your actions, but your heart. The times you forgave when no one apologized. The times you gave when you had little yourself. The silent sacrifices. The loyalty no one rewarded. All of it glows here, untainted by human distortion. Then Michael leans closer, his voice lower now, there is more. He turns the page, and what you see next stills you. It's the future. Not in vague shadows, but clear, vibrant, full of light. You see yourself smiling in a way you haven't in years. You see your hands holding blessings you once thought were for others, never for you. You see relationships healed, dreams fulfilled, joy returned. And the people? Some are new, but some are the very ones you thought you lost forever. You look at Michael, breathless. Is this real? He smiles gently, child, in heaven's record, only what is true can be written. This is already spoken over you. All you have to do, is believe it enough to walk into it. In that moment, you realize, your story was never just about survival. It has always been about redemption. And heaven is not finished writing. Michael does not rush. He closes the glowing record slowly, as if sealing something sacred, then places it back on the shelf. But before you can step away, he pauses, his hand still resting on it, his eyes never leaving yours. You need to hear one more thing, he says, his voice soft yet unshakable. He opens the record again, not at the beginning, not at the end, but somewhere in the middle, as if guided by an unseen hand. You lean closer, and the light from the page spills across your face. At first, you see words that seem to move like water, shimmering with a life of their own. They are written in a language you do not speak, yet somehow you understand them perfectly. Michael begins to read aloud, and his voice is not just his own, it carries an echo, a resonance, as though heaven itself is speaking through him. This one is mine. No matter what was taken, no matter who walked away, no matter what was said, this one will not be defined by loss, but by love. This one's story will not end in shadows, but in the brilliance of my promise. Your heart stops for a moment. You realize this is not just poetic language, it is a decree. A line that heaven has already written into your destiny. And no human hand, no betrayal, no mistake can erase it. Michael looks at you, his expression so gentle it almost hurts. This is the truth you've been searching for your whole life. Not the truth the world told you. Not the version of you they tried to make you believe. This is heaven's truth, and it cannot be overturned. You try to speak, but the lump in your throat is too heavy. Memories flash in your mind, the moments you believed the worst about yourself because someone else painted you in their colors. The times you let their opinions settle like chains around your spirit. And now, here in this place, all of that begins to loosen. You feel lighter, not because everything is fixed yet, but because you finally know the truth that was always yours. Michael closes the record again, but this time, instead of placing it back immediately, he presses it into your hands. You feel its warmth, its weight, and you realize it's not just a record about you. It is a living link between you and the one who wrote it. Keep this, Michael says. Not in your pocket, but in your heart. Every time doubt comes, remember this line. Every time fear whispers, remember this line. Every time someone tries to tell you who you are, remember that heaven already decided. You hold the record close, and for a moment, you can feel every heartbeat of your life syncing with something greater, something eternal. It's as if the noise of the world fades into the distance, and only this truth remains: you are seen, you are known, you are claimed. Michael smiles. You will never be the same after this. Not because I showed you something new, but because I reminded you of something your soul already knew. And in that instant, you understand, you have not been forgotten for a single heartbeat. Heaven has been writing your story all along, and the author has no plans of stopping.